Mahalo to everyone for being here. And over the last 3 days, some of the brightest minds in the Asia Pacific have come together from government, private industry, military, and academia to address our clean energy challenges. For 4 years, this summit has been a place where ideas are exchanged, new innovations unveiled, and partnerships are formed. On Monday, in his opening, Governor Abercrombie expressed Hawaii's commitment to clean energy and to clean energy collaboration. Every new collaboration and discovery moves us down the path to a sustainable green economy. However, he also expressed the sense of urgency that I think is necessary for real action. I think that we can all agree that the pace at which we've been moving forward has been far too slow. We've talked about energy independence and sustainability for decades. There have been countless meetings and summits. Still, we failed to be truly serious, although I'm glad that Mark gave us the update on what's going on in Hawaii, and I think Hawaii is a leader in energy independence. But really, we need to be so much more serious about ending our reliance on fossil fuels and developing a green economy. Instead of an energy policy in the United States that supports our long-term economic growth, our commitment to clean energy has waxed and waned with the price at the pump. In Hawaii, we know that every time gas prices go up, so will the price for food, electricity, and other necessities. Our dependence on imported oil is like a tax on our economy, and a tax on every working family and business, a tax of about $4 billion a year. The economic cost isn't the only burden that we've shouldered in the long slog that is oil dependence. Senator Inoue reminded us in his remarks on Monday, oil prices have spiked up and down over the years, and this has led to armed conflicts over oil, conflicts that have cost American lives. In the past decade, thousands of lives have been lost simply trying to provide our troops in Iraq and Afghanistan with fuel. You can't put a price on those lives. But combine it with the $17 billion the military spent on oil last year. That $17 billion is a 381% increase since 2005. 381%. It's breathtaking. The military is the #1 consumer of oil in the United States. And as such, it's been a leader in becoming more energy efficient and showing us the way forward to renewables. Between 2005 and 2011, the U.S. military reduced its energy use by 4%, because time and again, generals and other brass have testified before Congress that these fuel prices, which we do not control, make it hard to stay on budget while also meeting key priorities like training and equipment for our men and women in uniform. So they are becoming the leaders we need to emulate. At this summit, we all agree on the economic and national security imperative of advancing a clean energy agenda. We know that the current state of affairs is irresponsible and unsustainable. But 5,000 miles away in Washington, D.C., it's a whole different story. Really, it's like a whole different world. Despite this clear evidence that our dependence on fossil fuels undermines our national security, members of Congress are questioning the military's efforts to support clean energy development. In fact, influential senators and representatives are trying to undermine the military's efforts by blocking them from supporting biofuels and purchasing cleaner alternative fuels. Instead, they keep peddling 1950s answers to 2012's problems. They firmly believe that opening more public lands for drilling and approving more risky and delicate extraction of oil and gas is the answer. They fail to admit that everyone here knows, what everyone here knows. As global demand for oil grows, the prices will go up. They fail to understand that if we support renewables today, renewable prices will go down in the future. It'll also unlock new industries that will create jobs in the United States and keep dollars in our local communities. But the opposition and their allies in Congress are extremely entrenched and extremely powerful. You see, many in the fossil fuel industry view conferences like this and efforts to foster a clean energy economy as merely a storm to be weathered, or worse, as a fad that comes and goes. They've seen it all before. Gas prices jump, people are outraged, politicians wring their hands, and then pass some short-term measures to fund clean energy projects. In the meantime, gas prices subside, and we go back to the status quo. This has stunted the growth of our clean energy industries for years. Meanwhile, big oil companies collects its $4 billion a year in tax breaks and millions more in taxpayer-funded research and development in fossil fuels. And alternatives to their product fail to materialize in any significant way. As a result of this failure, Hawaii is saying aloha to $4 billion a year so that we can import oil. That's money that's not going to improving our schools, improving our roads, creating jobs. That's why I worked with stakeholders from across the islands to develop a path to sustainability plan. And this plan has 4 key components: invest in research and support new innovations, help our families and businesses transition to clean energy, train our people for the jobs of tomorrow, invest in energy efficiency. And these are 4 areas where a strong commitment from the federal government can significantly advance our quest for a green economy and new opportunities and jobs. We have to change how our country views its energy needs. Now, this isn't a political event, and I'm not trying to make a political speech, but the idea that politics doesn't matter on the issue of clean energy is dead wrong. I'm sure many of you are concerned about whether certain tax incentives will be extended by the federal government, or what next year's federal budget will bring, or whether the military will be able to follow through on its clean energy efforts. I'm here to tell you that in order to provide some certainty for yourselves, for our future, we all need to get involved. The stakes are already high and will only get higher. This is a tragic cycle that we have to break. We need to change federal policy in the right direction, away from fossil fuels. We should follow the military's model of evaluating the evidence, setting a goal, and working to achieve it. To that end, I believe that we should pass legislation to implement a national renewable energy and efficient standard. Let's take the lessons we're learning in Hawaii and share them across the country. A national renewable energy and efficiency standard will help us have a deliberate, focused, countrywide effort to make this transition. We know it's not going to happen overnight. There are thousands of jobs and lots of expertise and resources in the fossil fuel industry. This will be an important part of our economy for the foreseeable future. But this is a mature industry. Our scarce federal resources should go to supporting new industries and new opportunities and new jobs. This summit and the potential for clean energy opportunities in the Pacific can help us to make the business case for these vital changes, but we need to do more. One of Hawaii's renewable champions once told me, "We see the future of Hawaii, a future a lot sooner in Hawaii than the rest of the country and world." And a shout out to Warren Bollmeyer, who's here today. Those are his words. Hello. Thanks, Warren. We see the future a lot sooner in Hawaii than the rest of the country and world. You see our gas prices and cost of food. It's a preview of what's in store for all of our countries if we fail to act now. This is why we can't wait. And this is why we need you to act. And why we also need you to get involved. Tell the story to everyone you know, to your elected officials. Then tell them about the successes that you've seen here and your commitment to bring about the changes we need. This year, the United States will choose our next president and who will control the Congress. These decisions will set the course for the next generation. The outcome could determine, in fact, the outcome will determine the course of our nation's energy policy for years to come, and along with it, determine whether we'll lead the charge into a 21st century green economy or not. It's up to all of us to lead us forward. I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Back in 1993, with the APEC summit in Seattle, President Clinton said, quote, "Once in a great while, nations arrive at moments of choice that define their course and their character for years to come," end quote. I firmly believe that we are at the cusp of one of those moments, a moment of opportunity and consequence that will define the course and character of each nation represented here for the next generation. The stakes are high and are getting higher every day, but I am confident that together we will be able to achieve a green economy, the green economy we seek. And of course, I look forward to working with all of you to see that Hawaii's role as a leader in our national and international efforts to reach this goal are successful. People, we are in this together. Mahalo nui loa. Aloha.